Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the 143. This is episode 176. We're coming at you live. Nick, how are we doing today?
Doing good. Got a football episode for you. The NFL schedule is out, so we've got some games that we're going to want to dissect for you.
Yeah. Cowboys they've got a tough schedule, but it doesn't matter when you're a good team. Or it shouldn't matter, if you're a good team kind of thing. So, we'll see how they fare against these guys we're going up against.
Tough schedule or not, the Cowboys will find a way to struggle. Don't you worry.
If we had an easy schedule, we'd still lose some games. But overall, the NFL never disappoints with just great matchups every single week. That's one of the things we love about the NFL. You're getting at least 3 or 4 just phenomenal matchups, some primetime games. So, and then sometimes you get some duds. I mean, they've been in there lately. They've been cracking down on it, but sometimes you do. Start us off side of the week. Andrew's Logistics. Cowboys actually made history. 4 Thursday night football games this season. No team's ever gotten that many Thursday night football games. You've got the opener against Philadelphia. You've got Thanksgiving Day, you've got Christmas Day, and just a normal Thursday night football game. So make no mistake, these are primetime games that they put us in, especially the first one, biggest primetime game of the year pretty much. But, Cowboys are ready for it. Just kidding. I don't know if we are, but that's we don't really have a choice. And I think the NFL likes to see us lose on national TV. So, but yeah, I thought that was pretty shocking. But, with Christmas being on a Thursday this year, their NFL game is going to be played on Christmas. And, of course, they gave us the noon slot against the Commanders so we can spend the first part of Christmas dreading the game and the second part of Christmas Day just being mad that the Cowboys lost. So really looking forward to that. Appreciate y'all, NFL. But, yeah, Cowboys making history for Thursday night games.
So not player of the week, just player on the hot seat. Dak Prescott last year. 3-5, obviously sustained a bit of an injury there. Threw for just under 2,000 yards and threw for 11 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
Unacceptable.
Long story short, we've made it very clear here on Under Review that it's time for Dak to step it up.
We're sick of it.
I need to see it. It's been too long that we've just let him do whatever he wants and pay him whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants. Yeah.
The most expensive player in the league. Not actually, but he doesn't deserve half of it. Okay? He's a decent quarterback. He's a decent quarterback at
He's average.
best. But he is definitely not worth the money that we're paying him, and I am ready for him to either win us a Super Bowl this year or get out of Dallas. Like, that's just what it is.
I'd have to agree. Obviously, we're talking, be good in the regular season and the playoffs. He seems to think
I couldn't
that
care less
just
if
the
you
regular
throw for
season cuts it.
13,000 yards in the regular season. Like, what are we doing in February?
Nothing. Well, we're not playing in February. That's number one. But yeah, I mean, that's what the Cowboys fans want to see. At this point, Cowboys fans are not shocked anymore when we embarrass ourselves. Yeah. We've gotten used to it over the last couple of years. Jerry Jones has done a great job of kind of just letting us realize that he doesn't, prioritize the things he needs to prioritize. Obviously, this offseason has been a somewhat decent offseason, but that doesn't matter at all if we come in and, lose first round or don't even make the playoffs. So, Dak, we're just asking you when the lights are brightest to play your best. It's something he's kind of struggled with doing in the past. So, he's on the hot seat, and, I mean, it's a make or break season for him. All right, let's dive into it. We will briefly mention the first game of the season because we've already kind of talked about it. Cowboys are traveling to Philly to open the NFL season on Thursday Night Football. It is a big one, and Nick, the spread is a big one as they have us as 7-point underdogs right now, which sounds about right. So,
see, I'm seeing it as it's either going to be a very, very close game where the Cowboys win or we get smoked. There's no in between. If we win, it's going to be barely. And if we lose, we're going to get smoked. That's what I'm looking at it as. And like Joseph said, I already talked about it, so there's no need to dive into it. But Got a couple divisional matchups to open up the first week of the season. That next day, Friday, you've got the Chargers and the Chiefs facing off, and those are usually fairly good games for the most part.
Those are always good.
You've got Bucks, Falcons, Bengals, Browns, Giants, Commanders, 49ers, Seahawks, and then Vikings, Bears on Monday night.
I think so. Vikings, Bears will be a good one as well. With
they're kicking off the season. Yeah, absolutely. They're kicking off the season with a bang. Opening up with a lot of division.
I feel like we normally don't see a lot of divisional games week one. This is a change. Chiefs Chargers, interestingly enough, is that Friday night game. They kind of started this either last season or the season before. It is in Brazil. NFL is doing a lot more international stuff this year. I think there's games in Germany, Spain, Ireland. I'm pretty sure. Obviously, you've got your London games and Brazil and Mexico. I'm pretty sure. Mexico, I'm not 100% sure. But they are traveling a lot this year.
We'll see how that one fares out. I mean, it's just in the past, those international games are always so sloppy, but also in the past as well, we've given them like the Giants, the Dolphins,
versus the
Jaguars, and
the Jags
stuff.
Basically
so
live over
just
there.
Not been, great matchups to begin with. But we'll see. We'll see how this one pans out.
Yeah, I think obviously the primetime games are not going to disappoint. Hopefully this year, week 2, everybody's looking at that Super Bowl rematch. Chiefs Eagles. It's so early in the season to even be calling it a Super Bowl rematch would be ridiculous. All it is the Chiefs and the Eagles playing. Who cares what happens week 2 of the season? Like, we all know the Chiefs don't care about September. They never have recently. Okay, they only care about December and January and February. The Chiefs might lose that game by 14. The media is going to freak out, be like, are the Chiefs finished? Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And then they're going to go on and they're going to make it to the Super Bowl again. That's just what they do. Honestly, I couldn't care less about the Chiefs regular season just because they don't care about their regular season. And rightfully so, because they make it to the Super Bowl every year.
We've seen it year in, year out where they're, winning all these one-score games. Boom, 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 boom. Just barely winning. And every year it's like, is the dynasty finished? Is this, that, or the other? And then come playoff time, they just blow everyone out of the water. So
yeah, and that's how
just not putting a lot of stock in what we're seeing in the regular season, because this is a postseason team. They know how to play late in the season when the games matter the most.
Something that I don't appreciate them doing is week 2, Lions Bears for some reasons at 12 o'clock. I think that should be a primetime game. That's Ben Johnson returning to Detroit with his new team to play his old team in the Lions. Obviously, the Lions are must-watch football lately, and I think the Bears are going to be better this year because Ben Johnson, I believe in him. I really wish that Dallas had given him a shot. But, I don't understand why that one's at 12. Obviously, that Sunday night game that week, Falcons, Vikings could be a doozy. But with the Vikings getting so many primetime games, J.J. McCarthy, we don't really know what he is, So that could be a Zach Wilson and the Jets. I know he's got better weapons, but I'm just saying nobody knows if J.J. is going to be good or not. So that's toss-up.
He could be trash, and if he's trash, he's ruining 13 different primetime games, unfortunately.
Hopefully he's good, and these primetime games are going to be good. So we do have Lions Ravens week 3 Monday Night Football. I think that'll be a good one. Obviously, I don't think it'll be a surprise that Lamar is going to tear up the regular season. Like he normally does, and he'll be in the running for MVP.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's all good and well, but Lamar Jackson really has a lot to prove. But he's actually come out and said that he knows that. I'm looking right here, and I just cannot believe that the Giants-Chiefs game is Sunday Night Football that week. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you actually joking? The Giants made a Sunday Night Football game? That's ridiculous.
I mean, we said that the Giants had a good draft, which I do believe they did, but it's not good enough for them to be competitors this year. And actually, maybe I'm wrong, and they have what the Commanders did last year, where they make a lot of moves and get people optimistic about the future, but then it's like, oh, it's changing like right now, this next season. Maybe the Giants do that, but I don't believe that's what's going to happen. That's just a waste of a primetime game. I think the Chiefs are going to slaughter the Giants at home.
I just think you don't mess with Sunday Night Football. That's like, to me, Sunday Night Football is like the biggest one of the week. I know Monday Night Football is great, but like Sunday Night Football, you've watched games all day long, and that last one has to be a doozy. And like week 4, for instance, Packers-Cowboys makes perfect sense. That is an age-old rivalry. We hate the Packers. They hate us. It's in Dallas.
Tale as old as time.
Nick, that one could be good. That one could be a good regular season game right there. So,
Yeah,
I think Sunday Night Football, I can't believe they put the Giants. I didn't even know the Giants had a primetime game this season at all. But I do like that week 4 Sunday night matchup. I'm looking at it here. Like the Jags got a Monday night game against the Chiefs. I guess it's the Chiefs, but I don't
understand putting the Chiefs in prime time, but it's not good when they're playing garbage teams that they're going to annihilate.
Interesting stat for you, Nick. Bills are the only team this year that are predicted or like projected. What is the word? Like favored in every game. Like they're not expected to lose at all. I think Vegas might have gotten that one wrong because I don't think the Bills are a 17-win team. You don't see the Bills a ton, which is kind of interesting. Week 6, Lions, Chiefs, Sunday night. Okay, so the Chiefs have a ton of primetime games. We're noticing here, looking at this, looking at the schedule, rightfully so.
That one will be a good one, though.
That one will be a good one. I think. What do you think about the Bengals this year? You think they're going to be better?
It's tough
All
to
offense,
say.
no defense.
Yeah, it's the same thing every year where you just don't know because they have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and that's supposed to be such a lethal duo, and they are, but it's just their defense is so bad that it makes it impossible for their offense to win games. Also, in Week 6, you've got, I'm just pointing it out because I see it, rematch between the Bears at the Commanders. If you remember last year, the infamous Hail Mary with no time left on the clock, I believe it was at the end of the game. So that's just interesting one. They felt the need to put it on prime time. So,
I think that says a lot.
Could be a good game. Could not. We'll see.
That says a lot about the way these franchises are moving. Because 1 year ago, I would have looked at this game and told you that they're crazy for putting this here. Obviously, now I think both teams, the Commanders have already proven themselves to be a
decent game.
Bears have a lot to prove still, but yeah, could be a decent game. The Bears are expected to be different. That Thursday night game on my birthday, Giants Eagles. How did the Giants get another game? You are killing me with these Giants primetime games. And I'm going to say this until they're good, but that's ridiculous. I don't love that, but yeah, we move on after that. And I like Monday night in Week 7. They've been doing a lot of double headers this season. I'm seeing there's a lot of double header Monday nights, which I don't know how we feel about that, but it looks like the second one is on ESPN Plus only at 9:00 that night, Texans Seahawks. So that's weird. That means like nobody's going to watch it. But Bucks Lions that night could be a good one, dude. Anytime you've got Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans in the primetime slot, and Dan Campbell and the boys out there, I think that should be a good one.
Excited to see Baker Mayfield. He's made himself a good name out there in Tampa Bay. They found themselves a good quarterback finally. They bounced around some guys for a little bit, but good to see that one. And I think he's going to do some damage as a Buccaneer. And then obviously, the Lions are the Lions. That Thursday night game is the Steelers versus the Bengals, and those AFC North matchups are always pretty interesting.
Yeah.
just because you never really know how it's going to go. Because the Steelers are what we said about the Bengals. The Steelers have kind of been the opposite, where it's all defense, no offense. So, we'll see. We'll see how that one plays out. Just because you got two opposites playing each other.
Yeah. I'm seeing a couple Monday night games where like the Cowboys Cardinals game is a Monday night game, and then a couple weeks later we've got Cowboys Raiders. Just because it's the Cowboys doesn't mean you should throw them on a primetime game, especially like if they're playing the Raiders or something. I just don't think, and the Cardinals, they're both bad teams. I don't understand how those got Monday night games. Eagles Lions on week 11 Sunday Night Football will be a good one, just because, as much as I hate to admit it, obviously the Eagles are defending champs and the Lions are a really good football team. So I think that'll be a doozy. But yeah, I don't understand the Cowboys Raiders being a Monday night game, or the Cowboys Cardinals being a Monday night game. I get the Cowboys being in primetime just because they're the Cowboys, but it's
Get a doozy on Monday night in week 12 where we get the Panthers versus the 49ers. I don't know in what universe we live on where the Panthers should be on a primetime game.
No.
That's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
49ers,
I don't love that one.
Sure, whatever.
Maybe.
But the Panthers? Are you serious?
Bucks Rams Sunday night that week, though. I do like that matchup.
That will be a good one.
That will be a good one. We will be.
And lucky us, that Monday night is the only game. So
yeah, they don't have a doubleheader there for some reason.
You only get that one.
Yep. That next week, week 13, is Thanksgiving week. Chiefs Cowboys. That could go either way. Like I said before, the Chiefs are interesting in the regular season, and so are the Cowboys. So, you never know there. That Thursday night
Lions, game. Always a classic.
That's a divisional classic.
Mm-hmm.
And both teams are good again. So there was a while there where the Lions were awful and wasted our time on Thanksgiving, but now they're good. That night game on Thanksgiving, Bengals-Ravens, another really good divisional matchup. Those games are always high scoring and a lot of action from both quarterbacks. So that'll be a good one. Looking forward to that one. And then, look at that. Monday night, that same week, you've got Giants-Patriots. Someone tell me in what world that got a primetime game.
So, yeah, look at that. You start your week 13 off with a bang with, honestly, 4 pretty good games.
Yeah.
I think that maybe that Bears-Eagles one will
could be good.
A little bit better. Yeah. And then you get to end it with the Patriots and the Giants.
That sounds awful.
In what universe? Okay, in no universe should either one of those teams stand alone, be in a primetime game, but against one another?
On Monday night? That's maybe a Thursday night, and I'm still saying, why is that a Thursday night game? But a Monday night game is an abomination.
They're so bad that it will actually unironically be a close game.
Yeah. I think that's what they're shooting for. So, week 14, Thursday night, Cowboys-Lions. That's I think could be a good game, could be a game where we just absolutely get
smashed.
Yeah, we get killed. So Cowboys, as you've noticed, make a ton of primetime games every year just because we're America's team and we're the richest franchise. Not really for any other reason. We're always mediocre. So we might give you a good game. We might not. Kind of depends on how we're feeling. But moving on to week 15, that Falcons-Bucks Thursday night game. Those are always really tight, really close games, those Falcons-Buccaneers games. And they got those out of the way so early last year that I like that they wait till December to have
one. And those franchises have gotten a little bit better over the last few years.
Yep.
So they're close games like they've always have been, but it's getting to the point where they're actually good games now. Because before, it was just a slop fest to where, both teams had a losing record and it would be a close game. But now they're actually pretty decent, so it'll be a good game to watch, I think.
That Week 15 Monday night game is Dolphins-Steelers. I don't know who decides these Monday night games. We might need to have a talk with them because a lot of these have not been great.
Yeah, someone needs a drug test.
These Thursday night games have been better, honestly, than the Monday night games that I've been seeing.
Yeah.
So,
That
week
night,
16.
Cowboys on primetime again, like Joseph mentioned. We get
Yep.
a lot of primetime games. Vikings come to town. I mean, really don't know what we're going to
Could
get
go
out of
either
that
way.
one. Just
Yeah.
because we could be amazing, we could stink. We don't know how good J.J. McCarthy's going to be in the captain's seat. So, a lot of ifs there on that one.
Jumping ahead to week 17 because I didn't see anything in week 16.
No.
Christmas Day, we've got 3 games, kind of like Thanksgiving. Start us off with Cowboys, Commanders, Lions, Vikings, Chiefs, Broncos. Those are 3 interdivision games, some rivalries going. Really love that from the NFL. I mean, they just took Christmas Day from the NBA. They just didn't even care. And obviously they're on Netflix, and their views are still killing the NBA, which is on like national, like ABC. So that's pretty commendable to the NFL. But 3 great games on Christmas Day. If you're a Cowboys fan, prepare to have your Christmas Day ruined, like we said before.
Broncos Chiefs is always good.
Yeah.
I feel like they always play well against each other. Just that's how it is for those divisional games. And then week 18's week 18.
A lot of stuff is decided, on week 18. So it's tough to say which games are going to be important and which games they'll be sitting their starters.
Yeah.
Last season we had most of the
matchups,
games. Most of the games mattered last year for one of the teams playing, which they did a good job with that. But yeah, obviously none of these games have been decided on where they're going to be playing, just purely based on who's going to need what and what games will be important. But regardless, we will still have some great games on week 18. So I think out of this, common themes are you're going to be seeing a lot of Cowboys and Chiefs in these primetime games, and some Giants.
And for whatever reason, I was going to say, the Giants got there a couple times.
I understand the Giants are a big brand, but they've been awful for such a long time now that I don't understand why you're even giving them a chance. Like, let them prove themselves first, and then you can put them in primetime games.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're definitely going to be awful, but it's like, okay, they will be awful, but
use that flex option. Yeah.
That's just brutal. And seeing the Panthers there, once, I can't remember if they were there another time.
But once is way too many.
Yeah, once is plenty. So here's like to end our shows in under review. Brought to you a quote from the Vince Lombardi, and he said, "To achieve success, whatever the job we have, we must pay the price."
Ain't that the truth? Thank y'all for tuning in this week. We will see you next week with another episode of Under Review.